To my understanding, kat dalam ni masturbation is an offence.
It is.
So, did you ever caught someone masturbating?
Itulah aku nak cakap ni. Kadang-kadang diorang pun kelakar. Sel yang ada kamera pun diorang go je tau.
Macam hentak juga.
Go je. Walaupun under blanket kau boleh nampak apa tangan gerak-gerak. Aku salah satulah yang kalau nampak di Meda aku akan call.
Itu kau apa?
Oi, what are you doing?
Potong steam tau. Hey guys, what's good? Welcome back with me Hasan Rahman in Ribik Podcast, and this episode is sponsored by Shima Martin Bridal. So if you guys are looking for bridal packages for your wedding day, you guys can WhatsApp them at 8894-7691, and also you guys can follow them at their socials, TikTok, Instagram, Shima Martin Bridal Services, and don't forget to use the promo code RIBIK100 to get $100 off on their 2 outfit packages and above. In Shima Martin Bridal, affordability at its finest. Okay guys, kita nak sambung lagi. First part kita berbual pasal cap merah, kan? So macam before kau masuk as a prison officer, kau faham word cap merah ni tak?
Tak faham. Semua all the jargon semua aku belajar bila aku dah join.
Tapi bila kau belajar word-word ni, you belajar from the inmates or from the staff?
Most of them from the inmates.
Okay.
Macam kita punya buku textbook tak ada all this.
Okay.
So basically semua all the jargons, all the subculture, I learn from them.
Okay. Tapi what were the first few things as cap merah yang kau dengar yang very common in prison?
Cap merah yang very common is always passing barang, buku, makanan, and all the illegal things lah, macam hook lah, apalah semua dalam sel.
All the normal thing yang dekat dalam prison cell lah.
Dia punya shower kau apa, stopper all these lah.
These are all the kind of cap merah that you will be expecting lah, kira lah.
Yeah.
Okay, tapi this one a bit explicit
sikit.
Okay, aku rasa kau pun tahu apa aku nak tanya
tahu.
kan. Paling common, okay, pasal you came from a background where you don't, even for myself, even aku yang dulu tak pernah masuk, bila aku masuk, paling common aku dengar is goli. Okay, very common, right? Bila kau jadi prison officer, confirm kau dah tahu apa?
Tahu.
Okay, kat dalam budak-budak pakai pasang goli and everything. Can you share your experience first time bila kau nampak goli? Apa kau punya experience?
Okay. Actually, aku actually culture shock tau. First kali kita kat sana, kau as a prison officer, kau kena hari-hari tengok inmate bogel.
Correct. Dia tak bilang part of the job
tak ada. So aku macam apa ni? Kita betul. Jaga zoo ke apa ni? Tengok orang alik kena joget, kena pusing-pusing, kena
tunggik lagi. Semua badan kau kena tengok tau. Okay.
Itu culture shock lah. Then after that, macam I tell to my family lah, dia kerja dia macam gini tau. Apa sih?
Balik mata timbil tak?
Tak ada. Hari-hari tengok batang.
Itu lah
kan?
Hari-hari tau.
Hari-hari.
Correct.
Hari-hari berapa kali tu. So kena cakap first time nampak goli tu, aku tak macam surprise sangat lah. But then yang aku first yang aku ingat sekali is this Negro guy.
Negro. Okay.
Dia punya tu kan. Kau tahu dia sorry dia squat down
sikit lah. Okay.
Dia squat down sampai bawah je.
Langgar bawah. Tengok terkejut lah tu.
Terkejut lah. Aku tak tengok Oli sebab so macam sure lah. Kalau dalam seluar pun kira kau boleh nampak tau.
Okay.
Lepas tu kau tahu lah, biasa
pasal dalam tak kisah dalam
dia
apa.
Dia di bahan lah. Orang semua dah cakap pasal dia lah.
Tapi yang bila kau cakap yang kau nampak first time kau nampak goli tu, memang kau macam wondering tau, macam mana dia orang pasang. Tapi yang kau nampak goli ni, of course I think some of them were from previous sentences. Tapi kau pernah tangkap orang buat goli in the process atau kau macam tengok ini macam fresh saja dia ni buat goli?
Goli tak lah, tapi tattoo pernah.
Okay, macam mana kau boleh spot dia orang punya
pasal
tattoo?
It's very merah, very fresh. Kau nampak macam kita kan kalau keluar yard ke keluar pergi workshop, it's all ni so kita nak kena tengok all this lah.
Then they will have a file, right?
Yes.
To know that there's a tattoo. Tapi yang peliknya, aku jumpa banyak orang yang kata literally clean, tapi keluar ada tattoo and tak kena tangkap.
Itu.
Macam mana tu dia boleh lepas?
Itulah,
tu? Kan? Aku pun kadang-kadang fikir macam macam my some of my guests, aku berbual dengan diorang kan, ni tattoo ni kau buat kat mana? Buat dekat dalam.
Tapi tak kena tangkap. Yes.
Buat kat kepala pun tak kena
Not
tangkap.
surprise lah. Because kadang-kadang diorang pandai, like macam the day that they do, diorang macam report sick, tak nak keluar ayat. That kind of thing lah. Macam ada dia nak pergi sick bay ke. Adalah cara diorang lah. Then to me, kalau obvious is obvious lah. Kalau tak nampak mesti tak nampak. Kita tak boleh macam everything that kita punya dalam kita punya manual, kita punya apa, so-called record books, takkan kita nak check semua kan.
Yalah, betul lah, correct.
Nak kena refer semua.
Okay, tapi I want to revisit back.
But mostly
again.
of the time is all macam kena pauto
okay.
Itu yang paling
Pauto
senang
from other inmates lah.
itu yang paling senang kita dapat lah.
Okay, tapi talking about that juga kan, do you have your own sets of informer from an inmate? Don't mind me asking.
Not really macam pasang orang lah dia pakai, dia cakap kan. But then kadang-kadang is random.
Okay.
I don't like macam fix my own people as a informer ke apa. But then macam that time aku kat workshop kan, randomly lah just passing apa surat ke apa, cakap gini.
From an inmate. So they just bilang kau yang information that this thing is happening and everything. Then how do you respond to it?
Report lah.
And then you just do report. Memang apa information dia dapat tu memang is a valid information lah.
Kita buat report dulu, then after that the investigation will determine lah.
Okay.
It's not up to us to macam investigate dulu ke tanya ke apa.
Faham. Okay, I want to revisit again tadi kita bawa pasal cap merah lah. Because that is the most common thing yang kau akan have to do, because as a prison officer, prison warden, it's your job to do cell search and everything. Okay. What are the common things aside from the stopper lah, hooks lah and everything? What are the weirdest thing cap merah yang kau pernah tangkap?
Okay. Weirdest cap merah bagi aku macam mostly is all simpan barang lah.
Barang-barang macam mana
macam
tu?
Macam ubat ke, ataupun krim-krim.
Okay.
Ni semua like buku semua pun diorang kadang-kadang simpan.
Okay, extra buku. Okay.
Pass around from cell to cell. But then kalau kau nak cakap pasal interesting actually yang episode kau yang cakap pasal cipau tu aku dah
kau ceritakan sikit pasal cipau. Cipau ni hot lah. Orang ingat kita main-main lah. Ni prison officer ceritakan cipau
Aku personally aku tak nampak ni benda. Tapi yang aku selalu kadang-kadang diorang pun kelakar. Sel yang ada kamera pun diorang go je tau.
Masih hentak juga.
Go je. Ada macam walaupun under blanket kau boleh nampak apa tangan gerak-gerak.
Okay.
Macam tak kisah walaupun lah, mostly kalau dah dalam bilik yang ada kamera is all macam dah ada pending semua kan. So dia dah seorang kan. So macam part tu lah yang diorang macam
mesti go juga
happy lah.
Itu happy hour diorang
Happy hour lah.
Tapi kalau by right kan, to my understanding, bila you do kat dalam ni masturbation is an offence. Is it true?
It is.
So did you ever caught someone masturbating kat dalam?
Itulah aku nak cakap ni. Aku like one of the officers, aku salah satu lah yang selalu macam kalau nampak di media aku akan call.
Itu kau mah?
Itu kau. Woi, what are you doing
Potong steam tau.
Betul. Habis ada satu yang particular incident yang aku macam sial lah. Aku rasa macam kita tengah shower. Tengah shower dekat tembok tu. Dia tengah macam apa tau? Dia pumping gitu lah. Aku nak tunjuk action macam kelakar kan.
Dia tengah pumping
dia pump tembok je.
Tak, dia tengah cipau tu benda lah.
Tengah shower.
Okay.
Tapi dia macam pump tembok lah. Just literally humping the wall. Aku cakap disgusting ke apa.
And kau witness that from the camera.
Dia macam aku tengok apa ni, wall ni ada lubang ke apa. Macam like literally like apa, glory hole.
Tapi kau buat apa? Kau intercom lah.
Pak tu aku tengokkan dulu lah. Aku panggil dia orang semua, tengok.
Sial lah.
Apa sesi bunyi ni dengan buat.
Tapi bila kau dah kasih dia habis tu, kau intercom lah bilik dia. Then did you macam kasih warning ke atau kau charge?
That time budak tu dia macam tengah sort lah. Budak gila lah. Tu bagi aku macam aku buat bodoh lah.
Okay. But what is the punishment kalau kau kena tangkap for like this kind of masturbation or macam this kind of things?
Aku tak sure lah.
Tak style lah kena duduk
Tapi
PC.
kelakar tau nanti adjudication kan cakap kau masturbate.
Bicara kena masturbate malu tau.
Kan.
Tapi yalah, I think a lot of people that yang kena tangkap are those yang macam a bit of ada mental issues mental problem. Tapi okay, other than that, I mean, of course you have to witness all this. Orang ingat jadi police officer ni best. Baru aku tahulah kau
tapi
kena.
itu still okay lah. Member aku pernah witness lain tau.
Okay, dia witness apa?
Lelaki dengan lelaki tau.
Laki.
Ini aku nak cakap.
Lelaki dengan lelaki. Okay. Macam mana tu dia nampak lelaki dengan lelaki tu?
Tak tahu. Sebab tu aku macam this thinking orang kat dalam semua gay ke apa. So,
tak ada. Okay.
Betul je.
Kena 300.
300.
So macam mana tu dia tangkap Diorang dua tengah projek?
Dengar literally lah.
Okay.
Like tengah ni in doggy style.
Isiyolah.
Sorry. Just
but memang these things happens inside
that's
kan.
why aku macam tengok macam lelaki normal aja.
Okay, tapi don't mind asking, ni macam tua-tua ke muda-muda ke?
Muda, bertatu-tatu.
Siyolah. Marik dengan Marik lah ni.
Marik lah.
Marik pun dia jalan lah.
Itu pasal lah.
Marik dengan Marik so.
Aku disclaimer dulu lah.
Tu pasal dah cakap sabun jangan jatuh. Betul lah Tu orang cakap sabun jangan
kata
jatuh.
Korang ni, korang ada tak macam gini?
Tak ada lah. Aku dengan so far aku tak ada lah. Ikan Malik ada tak Ikan Malik? Tapi okay, bila that thing member kau, your friend dah tangkap dorang buat benda macam gitu. Aku tak ada imagine ada orang reaction. Tak ada sir, kita sparring, kita tengah sparring.
Dia macam muntah dia.
Tapi kena tangkap tu what happened to them?
Ni kena lah, ni kena charge lah.
Oh man,
tapi dah kira benda ni dah sensitif kan.
This is major charge already.
Kau dah tak boleh, kau dah kena segregate orang differently lah ni.
Aduh.
Tak tahu ini relationship ke, ini a bully ke.
Oh ya,
kita pun tak tahu.
Understand. It can be in a way macam ini kena ke apa kan. But memang, is that the only incident that you experience ke, atau is it normal for you to hear dekat dalam? Pasal for me personally, kat dalam aku tak pernah dengar. Okay, I mean I do nampak ketemai kat dalam. Okay, ketemai kat dalam, tapi aku tak dengar macam such thing macam dekat dalam lelaki dengan lelaki do this kind of things lah. But for yourself as a police officer, your experience, is it multiple times atau is just this a one time thing yang kau nampak?
Ini member aku punya cerita lah, tapi aku sendiri tak pernah nampak.
Oh, nasib baik lah tak nampak. Tak boleh tidur lah nanti balik.
Okay. Actually ada lah.
Ceritakan sikit lah Ilya. Datang jauh-jauh kat podcast ni, bentang semua. Okay, silakan.
Ini dia happen this time one of my postings lah dekat dia dalam dom.
Okay.
But this guy, both of them macam dia tengah dalam dom. Kita ni dekat selarang lah.
Okay.
Dia behind blind spot.
Okay.
Tapi actually we managed to see.
Okay.
Dia duduk sebelah-sebelah.
Okay.
This guy, tapi dia punya tangan tengah gini. Dia ada guy.
Ini
dia orang nampak.
Ini YP ke?
Satu tua je.
Yang tukang buat tu YP ke OP?
OP.
Dia buat kat YP.
Buat kat YP.
Siyolah.
Itu aku nampak live.
Aduh. Ingatkan orang tua sakit kuat, ni orang muda sakit kuat Tapi kau nampak?
Aku nampak.
Then apa what did you do?
Dia put up a report lah.
Tapi macam kalau aku as a prison officer
geli lah.
Kan macam nak tangkap macam what you doing?
Itu lah. Kalau handsome tak apa. Kalau muka lah tak apa.
Kalau handsome aku tak buat je. Padahal kau witness sendiri lah. You ada one lah.
Yes. Aku just recall that aku nampak.
Tapi did you approach them macam kau cakap why you go and do this kind of thing ni semua?
Dia ada guys lah. Aku tak lah.
So macam is call apa tu dah cakap? Macam is a mutual macam dua-dua nak lah kira.
Tak tahu.
Aduh.
Because that one not my duty.
I see. Tapi it's normal lah.
I happen to be in the camera room. I just what are they doing
Yeah. I mean they are inmates yang macam serving very very long sentence. I think it bound to happen this kind of thing.
Budak dia orang hari-hari keluar tau.
Oh, pasal dia orang dah keluar program.
Itu yang aku macam pelik tu. Kan.
Kau boleh keluar hari-hari. Tapi dalam dom juga kau nak projek.
Itulah aku macam pelik.
Nak buat pun buatlah dekat luar kan.
Kat dalam dah 10 tahun, 15 tahun
I see. Oh man. Oh, you have to experience all this. I didn't know as a prison officer you have to catch all this. Damn.
Captain Mike pun banyak cerita juga actually.
Silakan. Banyak time lagi. Aku ni sekali je invite prison officer tau.
First time aku nampak Captain Mike aku, ya Allah.
Okay, so macam mana experience kau?
Macam nak muntah pun ada tau actually.
Dah ada gatal dengan kau tak? Diorang mesti gatal dengan officer apa?
Betul-betul lah, ada
Mesti
lah.
adanya.
Macam diorang dah ada tu kan. Kau tahu lah, bila kan kita pun nak kena search apa. No choice apa. Tapi diorang very macam segregate lah. Different from only kita punya mata dia nampak.
Yeah, correct.
But then it's very weird lah. Aku macam apa saya atas ada bawah ada.
Tapi bila kau tengok Catamite, okay, what's the procedure when you see a Catamite? When there's a strip search, are you guys allowed to touch them?
No.
So you
even
cannot touch
normal
them?
strip search pun kita tak touch apa.
Oh yeah, correct.
You know, we just do the baju je.
I see, but to witness all this is a bit very weird lah. Okay, aku nak tanya kau this question. Have you ever experienced inmate yang ada HIV dekat dalam? What's the procedure for them?
Okay, diorang basically kalau yang ada HIV, diorang segregated away from the population.
Okay.
So diorang tak mix lah.
Okay.
Basically can mix, tapi like macam yard all this boleh mix. But then kalau diorang in the room, it's just them lah. Can be alone or can be within them.
Okay. Tapi you all pun tak boleh ada any physical interaction
Definitely
with them
lah. Gitu mana ada physical
Tapi
interaction.
adakah pernah tanya diorang tak, how come you can get HIV ni
Adalah,
semua?
ada.
But the
most of
common?
them, most common is diorang share jarum.
Faham.
All drugs kan. So diorang share jarum. Kadang-kadang diorang tak tahu pun. Bila datang prison screening, tutup HIV.
Oh, they get to know that they got HIV only inside prison.
Yes.
Damn, that's scary. And also for yourself, that point of time you work as a prison officer. Did you have the opportunity to be a spear at that point of time?
Adalah during training they no not during training, time interview itself diorang dah macam recruit macam tanya lah if you are interested to join spear semua. Initially I said yes.
Okay.
Macam tengah semangat berkobar-kobar dengan training semua. So then after that diorang punya selection process is after kita punya like 1 year. So by the time aku dah lepak kan, dah macam dah relax, dah enjoy the life.
Okay, faham.
Dah malas lah.
So that's where kau macam decide macam dah tak nak jadi spear lah. Just stay as your whatever posting you got lah. And how about being a caner? Were you given an opportunity or did you macam kau ada rasa macam aku nak jadi caner lah?
Tak pernah imagine lah.
Okay.
Because of my build and my height semua, I don't think that I have the. Lagipun macam aku rasa it's a bit like nanti aku terbawa-bawa. Nanti kalau anak kan apa, kita macam kita dah biasa kin orang kan. Aku rasa macam gitulah, but this is just me lah.
I see.
Aku tak nak lah.
Faham. Okay, can you also share with us as someone who is in the background, have never been related to gangs before, to understand prison punya culture, especially gang related, you also have to understand the lingo. You have to understand the hierarchy, how it works. Who's the head man, who is the gini. As a normal prison officer, because that one is Intel's job, right? But for you, an officer in the prison, kau tahu tak siapa taikong, siapa chief, siapa dia punya. Dekat dalam prison, do officers know that we call themselves headman, taikong? Do you know this kind of terms?
We do have lah. Because Intel pun share dengan kita, and then our OC semua. Basically memang kita ada like meeting, briefings, all this that macam someone is coming ke apa, like is the headman semua. But kita roughly know is all through the image itself lah. Diorang sendiri yang
diorang macam the inform the hantu they say lah.
Not hantu lah, macam maybe the opposite gang ke apa.
Okay,
cakap, dia ni tahu, dia ni tau.
And then kau pernah, do you mind sharing also what are the most unique cases yang kau pernah jumpa dekat dalam tak?
Case luar punya.
Dekat luar, tapi dia punya case unique atau the case is a very high profile case yang kau pernah jumpa dekat dalam.
Unique bagi aku, the criminal cases yang bagi aku unik lah. Kalau the rest is all drugs, macam bagi aku
the typical one lah. Okay.
The criminal case ada banyak yang aku nampak is all the fraud cases.
Okay.
Ada satu tu yang recently the guy yang not recently lah, he's the one who yang apa DBS Bank punya PayNow punya so called, he's the one who
hack ini.
Bukan dia is the one who apa not mastermind, dia dia sendiri yang come up with this PayNow thingy tau. So he's the one, lepas tu dia gelapkan duit DBS Bank.
Okay. And
Bagi
then
aku
dia kena
macam,
sentence tu berapa lama tu?
tak tahu lah, tak ingat lah.
But you only know that was the cases
Yeah. Then after that lagi satu yang aku very ingat is the apa, Shell Bukom punya case lah yang
The heist, right?
The heist. One of them aku jumpa juga.
Jumpa kat dalam juga. Tu dah lama lah kira
Tak lama lah.
Okay. The case is quite recent lah. Tu pun kau jumpa kat dalam lah. Lagi apa lagi case yang kau pernah jumpa?
Actually all the so bagi aku the all the yang apa, sentence to death semua aku jumpa juga, because aku that time I was doing escort.
Okay.
So the when diorang kena bring out for like medical appointment semua, aku bawa.
Okay. So do you have any conversation with them, interaction with them?
Not much lah, pasal diorang more to kita ada ramai kan. So diorang tak personal punya talk tak ada lah. Basically it's all there and then aja.
Okay, but I get this question a lot juga bila aku buat TikTok live. A lot of them they ask me how does the inmates yang serving death sentence kan, how are they like inside? Pada aku personally, I do met with some of my friends yang serving death sentence. Aku jumpa orang kat luar, but bila aku nampak kat orang, pada akulah, aku nampak macam pada aku tengok orang macam berseri muka orang. Is it true tak?
True, it's true. Because basically yang dah so-called dalam condemn tu dah a few years, at least 5 years kat dalam Diorang mau tu macam dah reda. Diorang macam menunggu hari je lah. Basically diorang pun dah taubat, dah apa semua kan. So diorang tunggu masa je. So more calmer than the rest of the inmates lah, I can say lah.
Tapi have you brought them to the gallows tak? Is that
no, that one not. That one the spear.
Tu one the spear. But have you ever thought of macam nak joining that team?
Actually aku rasa macam I told my wife juga. Actually macam I macam ada cita-cita lah macam why not. But dia cakap macam hati nak kena keras tau.
Yalah, betul lah.
Tengok orang like alive then after that down.
But did you ever macam put up the offer nak jadi? They call it
Belum
hangman,
lagi
is it? No, right? Is it the hangman or
the hangman? Different.
Different, okay.
This one macam more to macam the staff dah dekat sana lah yang apa through the last days with them sampai to the like to the very end lah.
Tapi okay, can I also ask you, although you were not that is usually cluster A kan?
Diorang kira special team lah,
okay.
They call it
But do you ever hear cases macam what were their last few reaction? Macam ada orang jalan normal ke atau ada orang macam struggling fight ke?
Yeah.
So what kind of stories yang kau pernah
Ada
dengar?
masa mostly is yang yang aku dengar satu struggle is the foreigner lah.
Okay.
He's very big size. Then diorang tak boleh handle dia sampai diorang handcuff him to the chair.
Okay.
So bawa sampai dengan chair. Dan gantung dengan chair sekali.
Dengan kursi-kursi sekali gantung.
Ya.
Pasal dia macam very
struggle.
Okay. Habis yang macam yang usually do some most
ada
people
yang
walk
aku dengar diorang macam terus rebah lah sampai diorang yang escort ni nak kena tarik lah, just drag.
That's scary man. Tapi kau memang dapat time.
Aku tak pernah.
Tu memang cakap hati nak kena keras.
Tapi bila yang tengok cerita yang aku tak ada cerita yang dekat Netflix tu lah, yang Hangman punya cerita.
Yeah, I think I saw.
Yeah. Diorang yang orang lama cerita kan, is the same lah macam gitu.
Okay. Singapore punya cerita
Singapore,
kan?
Is Singapore.
Yeah, okay.
It happens in Singapore.
So it's the same process, same procedures macam gitu lah. I see. Okay, then also let's talk about rotan pula.
Okay.
For you, have you ever planned to be a caner?
Tak adalah, aku tak pernah. Never in my life macam want to be a caner lah. Because aku rasa macam I don't know, aku tak sampai hati lah.
Faham. Pasal I feel like kau macam much more towards the lenient kind of person.
Kind of.
Tapi tengok orang jugalah kan.
Situational based lah. When it needs be, I have to be lah.
Tapi bila kau experience orang kena rotan, what was it like?
Okay, aku punya first experience rotan kira kelakar. Macam that time aku tengah attachment dekat QRP kan. Aku nampak the first person kena rotan is a foreigner.
Okay.
Kan diorang kena kan, pasal diorang overstay.
Yeah.
So Diorang macam okay, no, like korang selalu cakap yang kalau rotan biasanya nak kena zip kan, tak payah make any reaction, just diam aja. But diorang pekik sekuat-kuat hati. Diorang sampai macam apa ya Allah.
Baru first stroke
First stroke
dah pekik And you get to experience that.
Ya, itu aku punya first experience caning.
Oh, okay. Means you were an officer to be stationed there lah. Means witness them rotan.
Kau tengah HSMS kan, kau nak tengok tak?
Okay.
Okay lah, aku tengok lah.
Okay.
Tapi nak kena berani lah. Cakap terus gini rupanya. Tapi first time tengok tu benda koyak kan. Alamak, traumatise juga tau.
Kau kena pun traumatise juga.
Aku tengok macam kalau aku kena macam mana Takut.
Kau traumatise pasal pantat dia ke kau traumatise dia pekik dia tu?
Dua-dua lah. Bila pantat dia dah koyak kan.
Dia ama apa tu dah boleh buat orang traumatise.
Itu dah buat traumatise actually.
Kan damn, there's a lot of experience. Pasal tu lah macam kita experience as an inmate. Tapi from your point of view, the unique thing is that you are from like, I would say like you are the other side of the area of life compared to macam kita yang going through that.
Yes.
But as you as a normal person yang a normal upbringing to witness all this, it must really be an experience kan. Tapi how long were you in the prison service?
I was a officer for 16 years.
Okay, so sekarang kau dah no longer in the service.
No longer.
Okay, then what made you decided to leave the service?
Okay, aku decide to leave after macam bagi aku want aku nak they call it move on in my spiritual journey. Aku nak move on from being a uniform, bagi aku macam down there is aku restricted lah.
Faham. Restricted macam mana? Means the time, the freedom,
the
flexibility,
the macam the shift hours pun sama bagi aku macam not for me anymore lah. Aku rasa just one day aku wake up macam I don't want to do this until I grow old lah, retire.
Faham.
Macam a lot lah, macam bagi aku macam there's more to this kat luar.
Faham. Since that point of time bila you wanted to apply, your wife applied for the job, right? When you wanted to resign from prison, you consulted your wife, how was her that point of time? Was she ready for you to resign?
Actually aku wanted to resign way earlier.
Okay. Your wife kau cakap sabar lah, go je.
Sabar. Then actually it's all rezeki lah. Allah masih nak aku kat sana kan that time. So aku macam okay lah, mungkin bila aku cakap aku nak resign, aku be posted to tempat lain. So it's always like that.
I see. Tapi that point of time bila kau nak resign, did you have any alternative tak aside from, means did you have any other plans bila kau nak keluar daripada prison?
Initially there is lah that time, there are opportunities. But then right now I just whatever it is lah, I have to go lah.
Sampai sekarang currently what is your career right now after kau dah keluar prison?
Sekarang aku doing like self-employed. But then I also tengah going through my Islamic studies. Which
nice.
Aku tengah going to complete end of this year.
Alhamdulillah.
So everything insyaAllah lah, tengok next year macam mana.
I see. Tapi after so far dah berapa lama kau dah since you left prison?
Aku left this year actually, early.
Baru jugalah. Tapi ada macam kenang-kenang.
Mesti lah.
16 tahun masih ada kenang-kenang jugalah.
Kawan-kawan, members masih keep in touch. Aku masih macam
tapi another thing, kau kalau keluar, ada banyak prison officer tegur kau tak? Banyak prisoner tegur kau tak?
Banyak.
Habis macam mana tu kau keluar dengan family?
Family aku macam very they not used to it. Especially during Ramadannya bazar.
Weh, kira macam superstar tau tau.
Tak adalah, aku bukan mana.
Influencer prison officer, influencer prison tau ni tau.
Tak adalah.
Habis orang tegur macam mana? Macam Sarjan, corporal gitu lah. Tapi last kau keluar pangkat apa?
Staff sergeant.
Dia panggil staff, macam staff macam itu
lah.
Macam
gitulah. Kau imagine lah macam kau tahu jalan yang dekat tempat makan tu dia ada all the food stall. Like kiri kanan orang salam kau, salam. And then kau imagine semua dengan tattoo.
Alah.
Macam bagi that time family aku masih tak used to it lah. Macam bapa asal lah ada macam gini ni.
Engkau pula lagi tengah on your journey on the Islamic macam religiously macam punya
that
journey
time belum
kan.
lagi sangat. That time macam normal. That time was like first few years in my service lah. Not used to it lagi.
Tapi aside from the incident kat Tampines tadi kau ceritakan, yang after that lain semua macam more to the gerit lah, macam
mostly semua okay.
Macam semua okay.
Actually the good ones ada juga yang masih ada yang masih keep in touch dengan aku.
Time-time kau kerja dekat prison kan, do you ever experience where kau kerja dekat this cluster, kau jumpa dia ni, lepas tu lagi berapa tahun kau jumpa dia? Ada tak?
Itulah. Banyak.
Like berapa kali kau jumpa selalunya?
Weh, ada dalam a few lah, 2-3 kali nanti macam kau dah keluar kan? Masuk balik. Especially kalau Riman.
Okay, ya Riman kan. Okay.
Riman kau tengok like muka familiar. Kenal aja.
Kadang-kadang diorang tegur kau lah.
Kenal dia. Itulah kan. Itulah itu je lah buat dia. Itulah.
Tak kita jumpa dulu lah dekat AWP lah. Kita jumpa dekat sini lah.
Apa cerita?
I see.
Itu je lah. Itulah. Terjatuh lah. Terbabit lah.
Faham. Tapi for yourself lah, I think since you have experienced all this, right? I mean, kau pun dah pernah nampak, kau witness a lot of things in prison, especially macam tadi kau cakap people who relapse, right? For yourself, Ilyas, do you like have any advice for kita jangan cakap pasal orang yang dah belum pernah masuk. Do you have advice for those yang baru keluar daripada prison? For ex-convicts lah, senang cakap. What would be your advice for the ex-convict?
Okay, basically kalau kau nak berubah, kau nak change lah for the orang cakap turn over a new leaf kan. The thing is kau kena sendiri lah. Sendiri yang have to tanam benda ni deep down inside your heart. Kalau basically bagi aku, kalau kau cakap aja tak guna. Orang can like so many support kat luar. Kau punya family ke community itself can give you 101 support. Tapi at the end of the day is just you yourself lah.
Betul.
Kalau kita ada faith, macam bagi kita is kita Islam kan. Bagi kau dengan Allah je lah. Kau taubat dengan Allah, insyaAllah.
True. I mean memang that's the day is purpose cakap pucupangkan diri sendiri juga
but
kan.
No doubt lah, community support pun important. For yourself is your spouse.
Yes, correct.
That one important.
Correct.
Aside than that is basically just you lah. Kau can promise 101 promise tau, tapi at the end of the day yang akan angkat balik tu barang pun tetap kau.
Betul. You had the option, the decision is all up to you juga. Last kali before aku end this question, banyak-banyak prison apa patut diorang elakkan? Banyak-banyak prison apa yang patutnya diorang elakkan?
Prison apa patut dia orang elakkan? Elakkan semua prison.
Betul lah jawapan dia. Okay, tapi aku lupa lagi. Tadi Aisyah aku nak tanya pasal ni benda sebelum aku end this episode. Aku kat dalam ni kan, Ilyas, asyik dengar pasal mawas. Aku sampai rasa dengan aku sekali macam rasa pernah kena mawas. Okay, aku share dulu aku punya story dulu lah. Aku satu part tu aku duduk A3. Sekali pertama aku tengah tidur tu, aku macam rasa ada benda pijak dada aku. Aku tak boleh bernafas. Lepas tu aku kuki pagi lah. Wak semalam aku kena pijak lah. Rasa macam kena pijak. Boy, tu mawas boy. Betul ke ada mawas dalam prison ni?
Ceritanya actually datang daripada orang-orang lama dekat okay, that time aku was at Sembawang.
Okay.
Sembawang is a dorm setting. So basically diorang cakap bawas ni is benda dia macam like tinggi, besar. Dia macam berbulu tau. Macam diorang cakap apa tu, macam Yeti
Yeti.
Kata Yeti macam dekat
Bigfoot dah diorang cakap.
Bigfoot.
Okay.
That kind of structure lah.
Okay.
So what happens is this thing boleh go through walls.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So yang aku dengar cerita is yang orang lama cakap, diorang kan dekat Sembawang kan tidur macam lapik-lapik macam side by side. Biasa dorm setting. So what happens is satu dorm tu semua kena semua kena at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Semua kena. Macam
kena
macam kena, you say lah, kena pijak, kena macam just the reaction yang all at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Lepas tu dorm sebelah pula melirik macam gitu.
Oh, so this
dia macam pass by, kau tahu.
Okay,
pass by dia jalan-jalan, dia pijak-pijak orang macam gitu.
Oh, okay.
Aku dengar macam gitu.
Okay.
Then benda ni terbawa-bawa lah. Aku dengar macam orang yang pelihara.
Oh, siapa yang pelihara? Budak orang
tahu
prison
lah,
juga?
Is it staff ke, prison ke, prison officer ke.
So memang this thing has been going
cerita
on.
dia dekat prison lama. Tapi kalau kau cakap sampai A3 pun ada, aku tak pasti lah.
Dia transfer jugalah tu
mungkin
A3
ikut
lah.
transfer ikut Black Maria ke rasa.
Ke ni Wak lubang aku. Tak ada, Wak tu dah cakap dengan aku, boy aku rasa mawas pijak kau. Habis aku cakap Habis macam mana Wak? Dia cakap aku apa tahu, San, kau tidur tidur tutup
Terbalik.
pusat. Dia suruh aku tutup pusat. Aku buat tau.
Habis?
Aku buat lah. Tu aku dalam hati macam, betul lah ni. Dia cakap betul. Kau tidur kan, baring kan, tangan tutup pusat. Aku buat lah. Alhamdulillah tak kena pijak lah lepas tu.
Tapi tu sekali je lah.
Sekali je lah.
Ya, budak-budak lain tak kena lah.
Aku so far tak tahulah.
Kau tak ada cerita dengan orang lain.
Kalau aku dengar diorang terkencit tu, aku rasa saya kena terpijak lah daripada mawas
Mungkin kau
lah.
badan besar.
Betul lah. Tapi Ilyas, by the way, kita already come to the end of the episode. And it also was interesting sharings from you also. And I think there's also the advice that you gave. Apa? Tadi dah kasih pesanan tu.
Dah kasih.
Ya. Pasal tak ada wife
okay,
kat
ada,
belakang. Ada anything you guys you want to add on
I'd
tak?
like to say lah. Actually, throughout my career in my service, aku kalau siapa-siapa lah yang mendengar ni, yang kenal aku like, minta maaf lah kalau ada macam aku teraniaya ke, tercharge ke, tak sengaja ke.
Tercharge. Ada tercharge
tertamprin ke. Basically aku buat aku punya kerja lah.
Yeah,
kalau korang
correct.
rasa macam tak puas hati apa, aku minta maaf.
Tak buat tentang podcast ni yang berbual aku. Okay, yeah.
That's all lah.
Yeah, tapi because memang that is your job. Itu kerja kau, memang that is your tanggungjawab to do. But I think based on your story tadi, banyak orang pun kat luar tegur kau in a good way. Unless macam aside from that stories kat McDonald tu, because I think dia pun tengah not being sane at that point of time. Yeah, but I think moving forward, I mean it's a very fruitful session having you coming.
Thank you.
Aku sekarang tak boleh move on dengan tu negro punya ni lah. Macam mana ni? Kecoh lah.
Kau tak boleh move on, aku lagi nampak.
Aku dah terimagine lah macam mana ni lah. Tapi thank you so much Ilyas. Aku really appreciate you sharing, you know. Aku macam, pada aku like, okay, as a point of view, as an ex inmate, but coming from your point of view, I think it's interesting, you know, macam to see. I can't imagine being a prison officer because aku was an inmate before. Yeah. But it's I mean, at the end of the day, I'm so happy that you came down to share. And before aku end this episode juga, aku nak doakan, you know, semoga Allah rahmati kau, you know, semoga kau dapat achieve what you have already planned, because you left the service to focus on your ibadah. And semoga Allah memudahkan urusan kau. You know, good things are coming, insyaAllah. And you have a very supportive wife who's been, I mean, she's here. She's the one who brought him to the prison to work as a prison officer. So with that, thank you so much Ilyas.
Yeah, aku pun nak cakap actually this platform actually is to me is a good platform for the community and for those yang nak berubah macam yourself. So aku decide to come to this podcast pun, aku nak raise awareness saja.
Yes,
nothing
correct.
much. It's all my own personal view, nothing to do with the department or whatsoever.
Yes, correct. Pasal memang apa kita cerita ni the kelakar part lah. Kalau kita nak cerita yang rabak, korang pun tak boleh angkat
banyak
nanti
lagi
kan.
nanti kan.
Banyak lagi nangis lah nanti. Okay guys, so with that kita come to the end of the episode. And juga don't forget to follow Shima Martin Bridal at their socials, TikTok and Instagram. And you guys can also WhatsApp at 88947691. You guys can also use the promo code REBUILD100 to get $100 off for package 2 office and above in Shima Martin Bridal, affordability at its finest. Okay guys, kita akan jumpa korang till the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe kita dekat YouTube, follow kita dekat Spotify, social media kita. Aku doakan korang semua berjaya, bahagia, jangan masuk prison, jangan masuk jail. With that guys, settle.